today we're working on sunfire again. This time we're changing the alternator. Now, one of the more difficult parts of this is releasing the tension off the belt tensioner, since you cannot use a wrench or socket like a lot of other belt tensioners. So for this, we have a little trick that we are doing in order to get the tension off the belt, where we can remove the belt and get to the alternator. Okay, for releasing the belt tension, on our idler, we actually use these long extensions, put them under a jack and jacked it up, and had to push the tensioner up in order to release the tension so we can get the belt off. Alright, now in order to replace our old worn out alternator with this rebuilt one, there are three 13mm bolts that we're going to have to loosen and take out in order to swap them. Now, there are two on top. Now there is one under here. The easiest way to get to it is to have the car jacked up and to get it from underneath. That's the easiest way I found. There is actually plenty of room under there to reach your hand up and get a socket and loosen that one up. Now, if you can see, you have one part of the wiring harness to pull out here. The other will be right here, and it'll probably be easy to get to once we at least get it loosened up and pulled out. Now we're going to try to do this without pulling the radiator hose and see how that goes. We may have to end up pulling this and losing a little bit of coolant, but we're going to try to see if we can't first get that out of there without having to take this off. Okay, now you can see we actually had to take the hose off here, and it was kind of a pain to pull it up through. Now it was a lot easier dropping the newer one down in there. And this wire here is a lot easier to deal with in this position. So when you unbolt the old one, just kind of bring it out, turn it sideways, go ahead, then take this wire off, then pull it out. And then when you do it, put the new one in, drop it down there, then put this wire on first. And then you can go ahead and put the cap back on it. Then go ahead and line it up with the bolts and tighten your bolts down. Alright, now once we get all three of the bolts tightened up, we can get the belt put back on, and then we can go ahead and lower the jack that's holding the tensioner. Make sure you got the belt lined up. It'll put the tension back on the belt. You'll be done there. Move that jack. Then you can lower the jack holding the car up so you can get underneath it. And then you should be good to go once everything's all hooked up and connected. You can see here we're done. We got everything hooked up. We started the car, we're letting it idle, make sure everything's good, then we're going to take it on a test drive. Now this is the first time I've changed the alternator on one of these, and it took me less than an hour to do it. So hopefully this video will help you out so that you can do it yourself and not have to pay a high dollar at a mechanic shop or somewhere to have it done. It's not too difficult, it's just a little tedious. Now if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because we're always working on a variety of cars that can help you out. And as always, thanks for watching.